This is old news, but I remember I was on the train one time, and
I love this story.
I was on the train. It was like late night home. I'd done like a crazy late night in the office. It was past, not crazy. Like it was past 11. I'm on the train home, and there's this guy who's wearing like a Hillsong cap, like backwards, and he looks at this dude who's obviously Middle Eastern. And he just goes, "God bless you, brother," and then the guy just goes, "God bless you, God bless you." And this guy's, "Oh, you believe in God, eh?" And just goes, yes, I do, brother. This goes, "But do you believe in Jesus Christ?" And he's like, yes. And he just goes, "You believe Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior?" And she goes, and then he realizes, he just goes, no. And he just goes, "You don't believe he's our Savior?" He goes, "I don't want to talk about this." And I'm like sitting there behind going, is this happening, man?
Oh my god. That's some American shit, man.
Dude,
you expect that to happen in Australia, right?
Look, I try not to interpret things in terms of fake stories or like exaggerated narratives, but I was like, I'm living in a Seinfeld episode here.
Yeah,
this was a moment. This was a moment. I was just cracking up.
Shit.
On today's episode of the Sapiosexual Podcast, Surviving Gay Tupac, Kain prepares for a long stay deep in Asia to find his inner meaning and recounts his first jiu-jitsu tournament experience. We deep dive into recent events surrounding Jussie Smollett, discussing the obvious corruption, subversion of justice, and the biased media coverage, placing a high priority on protecting their own progressives than reporting the truth. We cap off the episode to talk about Cardi B and the resurfacing of an open admission that she committed heinous crimes against men during her time as a stripper. We discuss the total lack of remorse, the lack of accountability, and the obvious double standards being applied by the media and society in general. All this and more in today's segment of the Sapiosexual Podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Sapiosexual Podcast. Before we get straight into the episode, I wanted to let you all know that we are live on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us with the handle @Sapiosexual Podcast, all one word. If you enjoy the podcast, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, drop us a comment on the video and like it, subscribe on iTunes or your app of your choice. As always, if you enjoyed the episode, please do reach out to people that you think would really enjoy the episode and give us a mention. You may even want to share the episode out on Twitter or Facebook. You choose the way you want to share it. Just spread the good word, guys, because it's the #1 podcast on the earth.
Share the love, mangs.
Yeah. All right, guys. Welcome to the Sapiosexual Podcast.
Hope you're happy to be here, man.
Episode 5.
Fiverr.
McGregor. Hey, bro, we get a fucking pencil, a pen, and a fucking piece of sock, and I'm gonna make the best fucking fleshlight.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, you don't need that. All you need is a tin can, some latex gloves, and 2 sponges. And you put the you put 2 sponges into the side of the tin can, squish it in, obviously soft side facing inwards, and you shove the latex glove deep into the can and wrap it up and around.
Wow.
Fill that shit with hand lotion. Got yourself a woman.
Is there any other features to a woman, Eric?
Well.
Apart from the latex glove in the middle?
Well, you know what you should do, right, is if you want to enhance the experience to the next level, you should get a sink full of hot water, and you just sort of like leave it sitting in the sink full of hot water.
Yeah.
And you just sort of warm it up, you know? Just warm your lady up, guys.
I thought you were going to say to enhance the experience, you leave like a bunch of dishes left out on the side of the counter and no one cleans them.
And then like start using the sponge, like, this sponge is so sticky. What's going on here? I was like, oh no, I'm just cleaning out my pipes.
What do you do if you come home and like your significant other finds you and you got a Pringles can with 2 fucking sponges and fucking latex and a bunch of jizz in it?
Well, what about that big old can of Pringles? Well, I mean,
what do you do?
Look,
how do you justify that?
There's no way to justify that. If your significant other catches you jacking off, like, you're having problems, man. You're having problems.
You're super fucked.
Look, let's be real here. You know, they used to teach us in school how it's so healthy, like, you know, a couple times a week. And I go, nah, it's not.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy, especially if you have a partner. It causes all sorts of insecurity issues.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird problems. Even
you
people
should be beating your mate, man, when you got that going, bro. Come on.
Yeah, especially if you're living with your partner. It's like,
hang on, sorry, can maybe a caveat there. Maybe it's like if you're not getting solid stream of sex, like say they cut you off, cut the supply for a few months, then what are you doing? You can't be sitting there going, fuck,
Well, look, man. Look, when the oil economy goes down, man, you gotta find alternative sources of energy, man. We gotta go green, man. We gotta get them solar panels, bro. We need renewables, all right?
Maybe that's why America got so fucking antsy, bro. Like, all right, we need to go fucking bomb some fucking people in different countries, bro, to get some more oil there. We're getting it from home love.
Nothing says renewable like the 5-finger discount.
Yeah, 5-figure discounts. That thing's better than free.
Yeah. So the wife is out, so I took a 5-minute visit to Palmdale.
Oh shit.
So weekend rundown.
Let's get some weekend rundowns, man. What did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday night I was at the John Mayer concert, and all I can say is he slayed.
Very gay.
Very gay. Sometimes when you're on the show, you can sometimes say the wrong thing. We're all drunk. Take it back. Accidentally is the wrong word. John Mayer killed it, dude. He's a slayer of the guitar. Like, he did this solo. If you don't know the song, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, I mean, it's just this melancholic song about knowing when your relationship is falling apart and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. Like, you're hoping that it's actually like...
sorry to cut you off. There is Pringles cans.
Pringles. Pringles. Anyway, but he did a solo in between that song where he just fucking killed it. He made the guitar weep. I don't know how else to say it, but he made his guitar weep. And I was like, this is brilliant. Sick. And like, there's a whole bunch of chicks who wanted to fuck him. It was crazy. Anyways, but what was really funny is, like, on the way there, it's never a good experience if you live in Sydney, going to Sydney Olympic Park. There's this one train line, and the trains can only go in one direction. There's no two-way train, right? It's either going towards or away.
Monorail.
It's a fucking failure. It's a total failure. And it's always shit. If there's an event on, the trains are packed. It's uncomfortable. You just don't want to be on this planet anymore for a little bit. What was worse, though, was that there wasn't just one event. There was 2 packed events. So they had the NRL. And for those who don't know, the NRL is the National Rugby League. For you cunts that are AFL fans, or maybe you're international. It was Australian sport.
Australian sport.
There was the Eels versus the Roosters. And so you just got this, like, sort of eclectic mix of people on the train. Yeah. You got all these, like, kind of muso type hipsters. Yeah. Or you got some people who just look really well dressed, really nice kind of people too. Yeah. And then you got the people who are like really obviously NRL fans. Like, it's like, yeah, man, this guy's got the fucking Viking haircut with the full shaved 0 side and a fucking braid down the back. And he's got like fucking tats. He's jacked like a fucking chimpanzee. Yeah. He's got a huge, disgusting overbite. And I go, yeah, he's not here for the John Mayer concert. Anyway, there's this fat bitch at a Roosters jersey. It's like, what else is going on? It's some kind of concert. And like some like muso lady was like, oh, it's the John Mayer concert. It's like, ha! John Mayer, that would put me to sleep. I was just like, standing there, just like, man, you're fucking, this fat bitch probably doesn't need anything to put her to sleep. Fucking, you must be getting like diabetes or some shit. I'm pretty sure like your blood sugar level puts you to sleep, you fat bitch. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she kept saying it like she wanted attention. She kept looking around like with a fucking quip, like, put me to sleep. I'm like, fucking stupid bitch. And then like a fucking bogan, like her bogan companion's like,
like she made some really funny quip.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh,
yeah, I don't know.
Somebody get me the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah. I'm like on the train. There's like, oh. And I usually love the train too. I love the train. I usually love public transport.
That's the best part of public transport, man. You get to have a blend of eclectic fucking characters, man.
That is true. Like, I remember this is old news, but I remember I was on the train one time, and
I love this story.
That I was on the train. It was like late night home. I'd done like a crazy late night in the office. It was past, not crazy late. It was past 11. I'm on the train home, and there's this guy who's wearing like a Hillsong cap, like backwards, and he looks at this dude who's obviously Middle Eastern. And he just goes, God bless you, brother. And then the guy just goes, God bless you, God bless you. And this guy's, oh, you believe in God, eh? And just goes, yes, I do, brother. This guy's, but do you believe in Jesus Christ? And he's like, yes. And he just goes, you believe Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior? And she goes, and then he realizes, he just goes, no. And he just goes, you don't believe he's our Savior? He goes, I don't want to talk about this. And I'm like sitting there behind going, is this happening, man?
Oh my God. That's some American shit, man.
Dude,
you expect that to happen in Australia, right?
Look, I try not to interpret things in terms of fake stories or like exaggerated narratives, but I was like, I'm living in a Seinfeld episode here.
Yeah, it's
this was a moment. This was a moment.
Shit. Remember that other chick, Mariam Valley. I don't remember her name specifically, but she was one of the people that started the I'll Ride With You campaign. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that. What's that?
So there was a terrorist attack in Australia, the Lint Cafe thing.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
That
And then
was
the
fun.
next week after the thing, she said that this Muslim woman came out and said how she was vilified on trains and buses. And then this guy came up to her and said, you know what? I don't care what that people are saying about you and Muslims. I'll ride with you. And so that became a hashtag.
I do remember this shit. Yeah.
Only happened about 2 years later. The whole fucking story was a bunch of bullshit. No one fucking came up to her and said anything to her. She's like, yeah, I made it up. Like, what?
Well, you know, there's a lot of benefit. There's a lot of potential benefit. There's a lot of stock in making up fucking bullshit stories.
She's like she consults on policy for like governments and stuff like that in Australia, New South Wales government. She's actually part of the that campaign violence against women in Australia. Did you see that? She was actually one of the people that was talking about it. I don't know if you've seen the ads.
Was that like violence against women? Australia says no.
Yeah, no. This is like that was the rational point of domestic violence. This one was. They're at a server, like, okay, they're in a restaurant, right?
Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah.
So imagine this guy. They're in a restaurant, and there's a guy there, and like there's a few girls, and they're like all sort of sitting around the table talking, and she goes over and the girl comes over and goes, "Would you like to take your order?" He goes, "Yeah, you can take my order. I'd love to give that one." And that's it. And then it's like it goes pause. It goes, "Are you gonna say anything?" And then no one says anything, and the guy just laughs to himself and goes, "That was hilarious." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, there's like the bigotry thing. It's like, oh yeah, she became like a new VP of like some department, and then and then everyone's like, yeah, so it's like really good on her. And he's like, yeah, but she's a woman. And it's like, it pauses.
And it's
I
like,
remember
is
that
anyone gonna
fucking
say
ad.
anything? It's like no one says anything. It's like you need to say something. It's like, how is this domestic violence again?
Well, hold on, yeah. I was like,
how did we get to this point?
Well, A, it's not domestic violence. And B, these scenarios probably never happened to these writers.
No,
not even once.
they didn't.
These scenarios are totally
didn't happen,
bullshit.
bro.
This is. It was so laughable. I remember laughing.
Yeah, I laughed at the ads.
I was just like, what? Is this fucking April? Is it April 1st? Like, is it April Fool's Day or some shit? Oh, man. So, I mean, back to my weekend. After the John Mayer concert, went to your farewell party, man.
Yeah. It was
the other
awesome.
half of this podcast is going to be international from next week onwards.
Worldwide.
He's going to be Mr. Worldwide, except he's not going to be bald and gay. Pitbull.
I was trying to work who it is. Oh yeah, Pitbull's a gay worldwide guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Suck my dick, man.
I have to say, when he came, Eric appeared at the party. He was wearing the John Mayer Vice City 1980s jacket.
Oh, dude, I was pretty dressed 80s. I had like a baggy slacks.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I had like the full-on like mustard type color, or not mustard color, but like it's like a cream white type.
Bro, you stepped out of a fucking DeLorean.
Yeah, I did look pretty 80s. I don't know what it was. Like I was like, I'm going to the John Mayer concert. I'm like, yeah, I'm dressed pretty John Mayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, what's with the fucking jacket? And I was just like, yeah, well, you know, I got a podcast now. So I just gotta
Hey, man, I got a podcast. It means I can wear a fucking shiny fucking silk 80s jacket, bitch. Don't you be questioning my fucking jacket, bitch.
I gotta be smooth as shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just comes naturally. It comes with the podcast.
Yeah. So did you enjoy the party, bro?
Dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. It's when you have a group of people, maybe it was like 12 plus people out of the people at the party, who I really, really, really wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
They're the best
like,
parties, man.
And like,
they're
the
best parties.
I was like, I just don't have enough time to talk to all the people I want to talk to. There's not enough time for everyone. You know, like Barry's telling me stories, Chris, all these people just telling us stories. And I was like, man, this is sick, dude.
Yeah,
it was so
super
much
cool.
fun. And then our old friend Rami, who's a bit of an activist.
Yes.
We had some pretty lively discussions.
Yeah.
But what pleased me about all that was, well, I mean, it's your party, it's your going away, so this is such a good vibe.
Yeah,
no
it
matter
was a good
what we
vibe.
were saying, what everyone was saying, it was a good vibe, and that's the way we want to do it because, I mean, you're gonna be away for like 6 months, man. I'm gonna miss you, bro.
Yeah. So like I said in a few previous episodes, I've moving to Vietnam. I fly out in 12 to 13 hours or so. So I've got to pack my bags after a podcast and get along.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be recording through internet channels. There'll be all sorts of ways and means around it.
Yeah.
Well, technology's great these days.
It's pretty cool, man.
If
It's really cool these
in
days.
fact, I'm actually confident the quality is probably going to go up. So keep tuning in, boys and girls.
Yes. It will get better.
So
yeah,
what else happened on your weekend?
Yeah, so I also had my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu championship.
Jiu-jitsu me, baby.
Had my competition in Jiu-Jitsu, which was an experience, to say the least. So I got fucking smashed,
Oh man, I was thinking, man, you smashed it. You smashed the floor. Nah, it was good, man. It was fucking awesome, though.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
The thing was, like, I was really focusing on making weight, so I think I spoke in some previous episodes, so I had to, like, keep my weight consistent. So I've been stressing about that, like, for a few weeks, and then I got, like, on the weight, and then, it was just so badly organized, man. It's all these Brazilians, and they're just, like, running around.
It did look all over the place. I was like, what's going on, man? Like,
it was frantic,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
It was frantic. The woman's coming up to me, just like...
There was just people everywhere. There was, like, organizers everywhere. I was like... But it looked pretty good. Like
it was the event was good,
good,
but behind the scenes, the nuts and bolts behind the scene was bad. So I'm waiting there. I showed up an hour early for my opponent, and she goes, the girl comes up to me and goes, "Are you Kain?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm here to fight." She's like, "Okay, where's your opponent?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm fighting him. How the fuck am I supposed to know?"
Where's your opponent? I'm thinking, well, shouldn't you have just like picked up a bum off the street and goes, "Look, man, I'll give you $20 to pretend to be my opponent. I need to get to the quarterfinals at least."
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. And she kept like running around and asking me. I'm like, "Hey guys, look, I haven't really eaten in a while. Can you just let me get in the scales so I can work it up from fucking on weight?" She's like, nah. You need to wait for your opponent. So like, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to weigh in, and like an hour later you fight, or 40 minutes later you fight. So the guy comes like 2 minutes before the fight. We run over to the scales, they weigh us, and then I had to fucking skull down like a Gatorade. So I drank like 3/4 of Gatorade. I was like, oh, I got a drink.
I saw you smashing a Gatorade, and I was like, are you nervous, man? You're like really drinking a lot of that
No,
Gatorade.
it wasn't Gatorade. I
couldn't reach
thirsty.
as well because like the corner where you were, it was like 2 squads over. And it's like a section just for like the, I don't know, I call them squads, but it was just groups of the competitors. And I was like, I can't reach you. And I was like, hey, you look pretty nervous, man. Like smashing that. But it was just because you had
I wasn't nervous.
Whole time.
It's because I haven't drank liquid in 14 hours.
That's fucked. Well, I suppose the way it's organized.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the UFC. Like, I'm not gonna go fucking weigh in like
the next day I fight. Yeah, like I suppose the idea is that you're meant to fight at your natural weight. Yeah, and that's pretty healthy, especially for amateurs. You don't want amateurs doing the whole dehydration and coming over weight.
But it's not like it's supposed to. Like that's how it works. You weigh in and then you can have like a drink to hydrate. That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like, it's supposed to be a fair system.
1 hour, yeah. Well, 2 minutes is pretty fucked.
Yeah, because the guy was late, so it's just like, yeah, whatever. So then I came on, and then I just got fucking manhandled. But look, it was a good experience. And the guy I fought was from fucking Brazil, okay? It's not fucking Australian jiu-jitsu, it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, alright? The guy had a fucking Brazilian passport, and then his fucking cheer squad was like a bunch of Brazilians, and they were fucking speaking Portuguese the whole time, like, oh, do this, and do that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was like videotaping right next to the coach, and the coach was like calling out in Portuguese. He's like, he was even looking back like, oh yeah. And I was like, oi. Where's Kain's mates? I was like looking around like, wait, who's with Kain, man? We need someone in Kain's corner. And I was like thinking, oh, what should I say? I was thinking, put him in a body bag, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. And then I thought,
sweep the leg.
You got a problem with that? Sweep the leg. I was like, oh man, I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I could just do Karate Kid references. I was like, nah, I'll just.
Nah, it was good you did.
I was just thinking about it, like, what should I say? Should I make you laugh? I'm like, nah, this is definitely not the place. I've said a lot of inappropriate things at inappropriate times, but I was like, I'm not gonna make you laugh. Well, some guy's fucking got his knee on your chest.
Yeah, that was. I would have actually laughed if you said get him in the body bag, Johnny. I would have cracked up.
Oh man,
I could still hear things. You know, I was still focusing, but
part of me wishes I did, but part of me is I'm glad I didn't.
Nah, it's kind of good you didn't. But look, it was still did well to get through that. But I'm gonna compete again in 2 months when I'm over in Vietnam, and the journey continues, man. It was still a lot of fun.
Man. Hey, look, dude, that's what it is, man. You do these tournament experiences when everyone else is also training as hard as humanly possible to compete against each other to destroy each other. So it can't be helped that sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
That's true.
And 10 months is a good amount of time, but it's not that long a time as well.
No. It's also good, man, because you understand the intensity was like when I was killed, be killed once you get in there and it's like moving around, and then just dealing with adrenaline. Like I was thinking like 10 things at once, not being able to like focus on it. So you gotta pressure test yourself in those scenarios, and it's all part of the process, man. Yeah. Like a funny thing was I came back to jiu-jitsu today, and like I'm not big upping myself like I'm some pro or something. Yeah. But because I've been cutting weight all this time, but like the last 2 weeks have been really tired and run down. I came back to that, like, after the fight yesterday, I had a mad feed, some drinks, ate Macca's twice, because I've been, like, I've been a samurai for, like, 6 weeks, right? Yeah. Ate a bunch of shit, I had a good sleep. I went to jiu-jitsu today. I fucking smashed everyone.
Nice.
Like, but it was so easy because I was like, oh, I've got all this cardio and all this endless energy. So, like, now I've kind of learned that, okay, maybe it's best just to keep the way it was.
Yeah.
Fight bigger people, but at least I'll have all my energy and attributes.
Yeah.
Because I was really tired. Like, I only fought for like a minute and a half. I was like, I'm getting tired here already.
It could be the case you were weight
I drank too much.
So it wasn't your natural fighting weight. Maybe 75 kilos, just not your weight.
Plus, like I said, like, I couldn't fucking... I drank like 3 liters of... 3/4 of a bottle of Gatorade in like 10 seconds and then fought 10 seconds later.
Yeah, it's part of the tournament experience. Just getting used to the timing of all these things and just getting used
next
to it.
time.
Yeah. It's a good experience, man. You'll just get better.
Cheers, man.
Better.
All right, guys. So now it's time for your favorite segment, the Ultimate Fucking Championship Breakdown. Breakdown. And what we got for today is Conor fucking McGregor.
Fuck the Mayweathers.
Fuck the Mayweathers and give me
I've only got one thing to say. I'm shit at fighting.
I got one thing to say. I was good at fighting 6 years ago. Now I fucking don't do shit.
I don't know, man. If he doesn't have mixed martial arts, then he's just a professional shit talker, man. Like, what does this guy have left there? Like, I used to be scared. Like, I still would be scared of him, obviously, if I saw him face to face.
Bro, I'd be scared of nearly any UFC fighter.
But what I mean is, he had an aura of fear. Like, everything he said would happen. He'd be like, he would do none of those things. I'm going to knock him out. And he does. He just fucks people up.
He was, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he keeps saying shit and just keeps losing.
Well, you know what it is, man? It's like all the skill level got replaced, all the shit talking and all the training just felt like he's still trained, but he hasn't got the same intensity. He won both belts. He got $100 million off Mayweather for a boxing match. Was a farce.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't really have to fight anymore. I'll just talk shit. But like, whereas the rest of the competitors have been like actively training and planning to be, I'm hungry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like a fighter that's hungry. If they're not hungry, they're not going to want to kill it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, with that Khabib fight, you know,
Yeah.
that's what we were thinking. It's like, hang on, he hasn't been training this in a while. He's just been like doing publicity, the boxing thing. He made a fuckload of money. He's been spending the money. And then it just goes to show, look at that, who trained harder, whose game plan, went through. Like, Khabib didn't even have to go to plan B, man. His plan A went straight as he expected.
Yeah,
it was
did.
Crazy.
And the other thing that he did as well, Eric, was McGregor's even come out now and acknowledged that he didn't actually, like, he wasn't focused. His eye wasn't the prize. He's like, he was drunk and was sitting on a table on St. Patrick's Day. He was like, I wasn't like focused and ready, and like now I'm focused and now I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna get him this time. I'm gonna get him. And it's like, oh man, like where were you a year ago, bro? What was that? What was that?
Because you can't take it back. Every time you get fucking choked down and smashed, you just can't. His prestige has dropped. It's irretrievable, actually. To be honest, he'll never have the same prestige he had. I wonder if he was truly aware.
Unless he actually can avenge it. It's pretty unlikely.
He could avenge it, but even then, like, he's never. I wonder if he's really understood that that prestige that he was spending with some of these losses that still led to big payouts, like against Mayweather. It's permanently being spent.
He knows
it's a currency that's being spent permanently.
Okay, so here's the scales, right? Scales are skewed, as in Conor McGregor's celebrity is the highest ever been, but his stock as a fighter is like the lowest it's been ever. Because he's like, you and I, people that enjoy fighting, are like, I don't really care about watching McGregor fight at the moment.
Yeah,
I really don't care.
Yeah,
I'm like, just do whatever you gotta do, man. So the point of what we're talking about McGregor again is that he announced his retirement. So I'll just read exactly what he said.
Yeah.
So this is his tweet. Hey guys, quick announcement. Like, this is your retirement tweet, right? Hey guys, quick announcement. I've decided to retire from the sport formerly known as mixed martial art today. I wish all my old colleagues well going forward in competition. I now join my former partners on this venture, already in retirement. Proper pina coladas on me, fellas. That's it. Does that sound like a retirement tweet to you?
It sounds like he's going to go into some other fight game of some kind.
Okay, so sorry, just give you some more context as to this as well, Eric. So
Yeah.
I get that could be that, but like he's decided to retire before.
Yeah.
So 2016 said that this tweet was 2016 tweet. I've decided to retire young. Thanks for the cheese. Catch you later. And what happened was he had he was gonna rematch against what's the guy's name? Diaz.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna rematch against Diaz.
Nate Diaz.
And he decided that he didn't want to do the media obligation, so he put this out as a bargaining tactic.
Yeah.
So what's happened is he was going to fight some other guy, but it wasn't going to be a main event.
Yeah.
Because now all the main events wanted to be his championship fights. So the UFC said, nah, if you're not going to accept that, as not being a main event because you don't get pay-per-view points, right?
Yeah.
So McGregor's just gone, all right, then I'll retire.
Oh,
So he's using it as a bargaining tool.
So he's playing the business game. This is part of the deal.
Playing the business game.
That's
As I'm saying, that's what I said to you. Does this retirement tweet sound like, hey guys, quick announcement, I'm just retiring. Like
Well, it kind of sounds like until such time that they
bullshit.
give him a good offer, he's going to do something else, like fucking kickboxing or something.
Or drink whiskey and talk shit.
Sell his fucking shit
Yeah.
whiskey.
So anyway, so apart from that, right, he announced this, and then guess what? The next day, a story came out from the New York Times, citing 4 people familiar with an investigation going on that McGregor is allegedly accused of sexually assaulting a woman.
In December.
Yeah, in December. So apparently this story's been floating around as a rumor.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that they're looking at a potential arrest, but it hasn't been actually formalized yet.
Well, it says he was arrested in January. Oh, that was previously.
No, he was arrested but not charged.
Ah,
Yeah, that was the difference. So the thing is, though, right, this tweet came a day before this announcement. So it looks like it's all a little bit of like smoke
I need
and
to take a
mirrors
break
to
to
it.
deal with my legal issues.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And fuck the Mayweathers.
And fuck the Mayweathers. So it looks like, that's his bit of a plan. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Mm.
Well, that's ultimate fucking championship news.
Ultimate fucking championship.
Fuck me. In other news, in case you don't know the story of Jussie Smollett is the well-known, now worldwide infamous supporting actor in the TV show Empire. It's a cable TV show. He was accused of allegedly faking a hate crime against himself. He was arrested by the Chicago police. There was a stack of evidence against him. I mean, they had, phone records between him and the 2 brothers. They realized
Just hold back one step, Eric. So what exactly happened? What was actually that he?
Oh, To give more context around that, he was out at 2 a.m. during a polar vortex, one of the coldest nights in Chicago.
It was the coldest season they've had in Chicago in 50 years or something.
It was, I think, at least minus 9 degrees.
Yeah.
And his official story is that he went out to get a Subway sandwich.
At 2 a.m., which is
at 2
fine.
a.m.
No, that's fine.
No, yeah, sometimes you gotta hanker for
Sometimes you
some
get
healthy
hungry,
eats, man.
bro.
You
Yeah.
want that turkey
Healthy
sub, man.
eats.
I love turkey in my mouth. Anyway, according to Jussie Smollett, he then is later accosted by these 2 men in red MAGA hats who shout, "Hey, yo, Empire!" And they walk over to him. A fight breaks out. Yep. They douse him in bleach. They put a noose around his neck and shout, "This is MAGA country, faggot." And I was like, just all sorts of things.
And they were wearing red Make America Great Again hats. In Chicago, the most democratic black state in America.
I mean, there's so many things that are hard to believe about that. First is, you got MAGA type rednecks. Do they watch Empire? I mean, that's hard to believe already.
And why are they in Chicago?
Why are they in Chicago? And why are they walking around with a noose?
And why are they walking around with bleach?
There's not... Put it this way, right? Especially in an urban environment, there's not that many people who even know how to tie a noose anymore. Like, seriously. Anyway, one of the funniest things, I mean, we've already gone through this in previous episodes, so you guys should look it up for yourselves, but one of the funniest parts of that was when they found the CCTV footage. He walks out of the scene, then he walks allegedly after the fight, and he's still holding his fucking sandwich, and he's got a noose around his neck, and he's just walking calmly like, so wait a minute, he has this fight, he gets covered in bleach, he fucking gets beat the shit out of, but he holds onto that sandwich, man. I mean, that's just so funny.
He walked in and he kept the noose on and the sandwich. He walked back to his apartment, and then he's eating the sandwich. He's got the noose around his neck.
He eats a sandwich. He eats the sandwich with a noose around his neck. Waits 45 minutes and then calls the cops. And you're like, there's just so many holes in this story.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I fully expected him to go to jail. There's a wealth of evidence against him. We've gone through this previously. But what's recently happened is the Cook County State's Attorney have dropped the charges against Jussie Smollett on the 26th of March. He's only been ordered to do 2 days of community service and relinquish his $10,000 bond, which is what he paid to get out of jail.
And he was charged with 16 count felonies.
Exactly. I mean, this is proper jail time. Like, he's wasted hundreds, if not thousands, of police hours. He's literally wasted hundreds of thousands of government money. I mean, what he's done, what the strong evidence suggests he's done, is a serious crime, and it's just... This story actually kind of put me in a bit of anger here. So this all occurred after Tina Chen, the former chief of staff to the previous First Lady, Michelle Obama. She texted Kim Fox, who's Chicago's top prosecutor, who was in charge of the whole prosecution and investigation, to discuss concerns over the investigation on behalf of Smollett's family, who she knew very well. Okay. Shortly thereafter, Kim Fox recused herself from the investigation, and the first assistant state's attorney, Joseph Maggots, took over. Shortly after that, they do this alternative punishment where he does practically no time. He does 2 days of community service and just loses his 10K bond. And I mean, all of this seems to be the fact related to the fact that Smollett and his family know the Obamas. And I go, this just stinks of corruption. Like, this is so obvious corruption. Yeah, you got all these lefties raging about privilege. And I go, guys, isn't this an obvious, disgusting display of privilege? Who else would have got out of this? Who else has someone who used to be a chief of staff to one of the most powerful people in the world and just go, oh, you know, like, there's some concerns over the investigation and, you know, can we, like, have a chat about this? And then a couple of days later, what? No punishment.
No charges. No conviction, sorry.
Guys, like, you know, it doesn't matter whether the person's on the left or the right, what race they are, who they are. Stuff like this is corruption, and you need to fight that, or you need to speak out against that, no matter who it is. And it was just disgusting. I mean,
this is what they all different people keep talking about, privilege, man. This is the privilege of being a Hollywood celebrity, having a lot of money, and also nepotism of knowing, having connections with Obama's family, and using those for leverage for his own case. Like, it's absolutely just mind-boggling how this guy got away with this. I just don't understand what happened. Like, what happened?
Well, what I don't get
what
is,
happened?
Well, I don't know exactly. Well, the FBI apparently are launching an investigation into it because it's not above board. It's so obvious, right? This is not above board what's happened here. And I fully expect that the FBI will uncover something. There'll be someone's going to, if not Jussie Smollett, Kim Fox is going to get something for this. Because it's so obvious. There's some form of corruption's going on. The system has been subverted. It's been gamed.
Man.
And what I don't understand though is CNN and, you know, the other progressive leaning media are actually happy about this. They've changed their tune. They went from assuming the facts to now, we're also confused. We don't know what's going on. You know, you guys know what's going on. It's just that you want to protect your people, and this is this idea I've been talking about.
Protect the side.
Yeah, and not just that. It's the idea that people don't care about the principle of something anymore or the core value of something. It's all about the ideology. It's like, well, this guy's pro-progressiveness. He speaks out about oppressed minorities or people who are abused, like gay people and ethnic minorities, etc. And so it doesn't matter that he did something horrendous. People still don't want him to get punished because of the intention or something like that, you know?
What?
I don't know. But the principle should be this.
What do you mean the intention? The intention is he staged a fake hate crime.
Oh, but the intention of someone's life work, you know, like, oh, but, you know, he's always spoken out against racism, whatever, right?
No, but he's literally a vehicle for creating fake race hatred. Like,
that's the truth.
This when this all dropped originally, people on Twitter and on left and right were going nuts, man. They were going, oh, this is a symptom of Donald Trump's America. Of where it's of the political pitch where we are.
Oh my god, they can still blame Donald Trump. This is like a pure Democrat side, left wing side.
It is
incident. Well, what I was getting at was that because he's a progressive guy, then the idea that straight out corruption has occurred doesn't seem to be bothering anybody. A lot of people are just unfazed by it. It's like, I mean, if you heard about this happening to some white dude who was like trying to make ethnics look bad to stoke racism. How would the media feel about that? And how would you as a person out there feel about that?
Well, it'd be a modern day lynching.
Yeah, it'd be a real modern day
modern day lynching.
Yeah.
That's what it is, though.
That's what would happen. And I don't know, man. I just think that people so quick to forget the core value or the principle of something and just view everything from a lens of ideology. And that's why key principles that we hold dear, like free speech, are being subverted or they're being cast aside. People talk about all sorts of stuff like Fraser Anning, for example. If you don't know Fraser Anning, he's that idiot senator from Queensland. In the wake of the Christchurch shooting, we covered this, wrote a terrible letter. It was clearly prejudice kind of letter. I mean, it was basically applying collective guilt to another group of people.
Yeah,
it was basically implying collective guilt. And for a guy who says he's anti-PC, anti-SJW, he doesn't understand. How can he not understand? He just committed the same sin that they do. The whole collective guilt thing, the white guilt thing. But he's saying the Muslim guilt thing. Fucking idiot. But anyway, there's talks about changing legislation so they can remove him from his job quicker. And I'm thinking, So you want to subvert democracy because you don't like what he said? Why don't you let democracy do its thing? He said something extremely stupid. He unveiled his prejudices.
Yep.
The next election, he's going to get slaughtered. And that's it.
Yeah, I think it's also the kind of a symptomatic part of cancel culture as well, though.
Yeah.
This is the technology and internet generation where if, say, something happened, like a terrorist attack happened in Fraser and he released some letter, you'd see it on Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10 News, maybe in the paper, and that's the end of it. But now, because it's all over the internet, people are making memes about that egg boy dude and all that different stuff happened, right?
Oh, fucking egg boy.
Everyone signs together and goes, hey, we need to cancel this person. It's like, why do you want to change laws and fuck things up because you're basically upset about something?
Exactly.
For a few days.
It's basically saying, oh, we should just cancel democracy or at least some aspect of it because we didn't like what he said.
Yeah.
And then they want to praise Egg Boy. I mean, I think we've
already talked about this aspect. But look, the main thing is, like, why are we going through this, man? I don't understand how this guy got away with this thing, man. It reminds me of as well about the Bill Clinton thing. So Hillary Clinton, the whole email scandal, and she was supposed to get charged with destroying and disseminating evidence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton got into an airplane with the head of the Department of Justice. Yeah. And allegedly they're on this airplane because it's the most conspicuous place to airplane. There could be no recording equipment and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently they talked about golf and grandkids for 45 minutes. And then 2 weeks later, Hillary Clinton gets off all the charges. So it's like, what the fuck is this, man? It's another issue of nepotism and power, man.
Well, it's just, it is the idea that politics is a pretty dirty game. I think I would just want people to be more even-handed in their assessment of current events or any events. It's like you shouldn't be less annoyed or less angry because that was Bill Clinton than if you heard Trump did that. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that'll go, exactly. Oh, Trump, look, just another example of this hellhole we're living in. And you're like, you know what?
And Trump isn't this perfect person or like
he acts like a dick. It's so obvious.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah, he's a dickhead.
He's a dickhead.
But that doesn't mean that everything does is bad. It doesn't mean, this is what I was saying. Like, let's look at his policies. Forget about the rhetoric. Everyone speaks rhetoric, and you can't really apply the general populace's actions to a certain rhetoric most of the time. Yeah. If you really want to discredit somebody, we have to look at policy. We have to look at, okay, like for example, the wall. This is the obvious one, right? They go, wall, it's because of racism. It's just a symbol of Trump's white supremacist America and all this stuff. I'm like, actually, it's more of a symbol of the sovereignty of a country has every right to set its own immigration policy. Yeah. No one gets to just come in without that country collectively deciding whether they're allowed to or not. Yeah. Even though morally we should have some compassion for people escaping oppression, but a country still gets to decide. Hence the wall. Now, if you think the wall's not effective, or you think it's a waste of money or it's stupid, then that's something you can discuss. Let's debate that policy. Like, okay, why would a wall not be a good idea? But why would you try to attribute like morals to it all the time? Like everything is not always assessed in a moral sense. And then there's this huge misunderstanding from people when they talk about laws or when they talk about government policy like this, is that not everything legal is moral and not everything moral is legal. So we've got to stop trying to frame every policy event or every government action in this idea of, is it moral versus immoral? I mean, that is important. I mean, if something's immoral, we should speak out against it. But there's a lot of things that happen in the world.
Yeah, but it's not just about moral/immoral. It's about which side am I on, which tribalistic side am I on, and how can I score points against the enemy? It's not thinking about what it really means or what it actually stands for. Like, a wall is symbolic of what it is, more than just a thing to keep people out. You know what I mean? Or keep people in. Yeah. It's also a symbol to say, hey, this is our land, this is our bordered area that we're trying to keep safe or protect from different things. Don't cross it. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's one argument though, but the whole thing I see about what you're saying as well is it's more just about people signaling to their side like, hey, you know what? Fuck this guy. I don't know why, but fuck him. Everyone else doesn't like him.
You guys don't like him. He must be bad. Everything he does must be bad. We must view it from a lens that he's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, can't we get back to a time? I'm not sure if it ever really existed, but can't we move towards a time when we assess policies on merit and not on some sort of group label? And I just don't understand why this kind of attitude is starting to bleed into Australia a little bit, which is funny because both parties here are windsocks. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's like
it's essentially the same party.
They just blow with the prevailing wind, except one panders to unions a lot more than the other one, and the Liberal Party tends to just sort of pander towards business owners, which, to be fair, by extension means the economy generally does better under the Liberal Party, generally. But I wouldn't always credit them with great economic management. This is a segue, but one clear example is the mining boom did not happen because of the Liberal Party, even though John Howard presided over the peak of it. It's actually the Labour policies that were put in place beforehand, the deals that opened up China. That is clearly the reason. This isn't one of those ones where people are always trying to claim credit for each other's work. There's an obvious causation of their policy to open up China and the mining boom. And then John Howard came in during the boom, and he gets all the credit for it. It's for me, that's one of the great historical misinterpretations that I'm always, in terms of Australian politics, I'm always trying to correct there. It's like, guys, the Liberal Party did not engineer the mining boom. They got to preside over it. Lucky them.
No, look, it's very true. And going back to where we're moving with this topic, it's left and right politics is becoming more of a thing here. But I wouldn't say it's left and right. It's more just like that's morally wrong or morally right. Like, it's not even like about Liberal or Labor anymore. It's about, hey, this is a collective shared beliefs of things that we think are just reprehensible. Let's cancel that thing. You know what I mean? Cancel culture. It's cancel culture.
And the problem is this new age, the new like neo-enlightenment interpretation of morals, which is that, well, basically, we can just change what isn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people spread online and they're in an echo chamber and they go, oh, this is what we think.
Yeah.
It's like the Jussie Smollett thing. I really found it fascinating how that transpired over Twitter, because it first came, like, before I saw so on Twitter, I follow a bunch of left and right and centrist people. I have a mix of eclectic different, like, political spectrum, so I can kind of get both sides. I'm like,
you're trying to get your finger on the pulse.
I'm trying to see everything from both sides, because if you just follow one side on Twitter, you're going to see one side, and you just follow the other one, and the other one, and you don't get the whole thing. It was funny, because like, what I saw, and this is a generalization of the left, was first like, oh, this guy's like, he's a hero, we need to support him, when it was all like first came out.
Yeah.
To the second part saying, oh, I kind of doubt his story. The third part was, oh, he's guilty.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. Cancel Jussie Smollett, right?
Yeah.
But then after that, there was a few different people that started to play into like disinformation. I was just like, you know what? Well, the police, this little inaccuracy looks a bit weird here. Maybe he didn't do it. And you know what? Racist cops are so prevalent in Chicago, and they've got a massive murder rate. Maybe they just set him up. Yeah, this is a setup. And all these other celebrities started to say the same
yeah,
sort
it's
of
like
thing.
a setup. Yeah, racist cops. That like majority black police force in Chicago. It's all fucking racist
my
cops.
God, man. And that's the thing. But that's what I saw, right?
Them cops are racist.
And then it transpired from that, saying, oh, maybe he didn't do it, and like, oh, maybe it's a setup. And then now it's all been dropped, and everyone's like, oh, well, guess he was just innocent the whole time. It's like, whoa, hold on a second. How did he get away with all this shit?
I'm scratching my head. Look, but one thing I do know, though, is if he doesn't go to jail, how can he be the gay Tupac? I mean, he told me he fought the fuck back.
Fought the fuck back.
The most important thing is, I fought the fuck back.
I'm a gay Tupac.
I'm the gay Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smollett. Yes. Yes. Fuck that cunt.
Yeah. I think he'll get his just desserts, man.
I think it'll happen in the end.
Oh, what about Empire? So his show he's on is just like welcoming him back with open arms. Like, yep, can't wait to see you back on set, guys.
Wink. And you're like, wow, you guys just love to revel in injustice when it's your side.
Well, nothing ever happened. Let's just move on.
Just disgusting. But on the same theme of disgusting news, Kain?
Yes, so... Oh, this one perplexed me. I still am shaking my head as I'm talking about this. So... This topic's about surviving Cardi B. The B, the B stands for benzodiazepines. You're like, Xanax? How about 10 of them? Oh, shit, I can't move.
B stands for she should be on the...
Oh, well. So, Cardi B, we all know who Cardi B is. So earlier this month, she released an old Instagram live session. It got resurfaced, where basically she talked about how when she was a stripper, so she used to be a stripper and also a sex worker, and she used to convince clients to come back to the room, whatever, and then she used to drug them and rob them.
I believe that's a crime.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound at all like very criminal, does it?
Yeah.
No. So this is what she had to say about it, right? So she was saying, I had to go strip. I had to go. Oh, yeah, you want to fuck me? Yeah. Let's go to this hotel. And I drugged niggas up. And I robbed them. That's what I used to do. That's what she said. This is a quote. And she said, nothing was motherfucking handed to me, my nigga. Nothing. Oh, my God, man. So then, you know, after those comments, she got like some social media backlash.
Obviously.
And then she's talked about how she had limited options, and then she spoke about
she played the whole "I'm from the hood, I had no choice."
I had no choice, man. I was
narrative.
from the hood,
Oh,
man.
God.
So I wanted to read her. So this all came out, right? And people were like, "Whoa, this is super like Me Too-ish. This is pretty rapey. Like, it might not be physical rape, but drugging and robbing people is super fucked up."
Well, look, she's bringing all these men back to a hotel. She's drugging them and raping them. She's a straight up criminal. I mean,
She's a criminal.
Let's forget race. Let's forget gender.
She's a criminal.
If someone is drugged and robbed when they thought they were about to enter in some sort of consensual, sexual relation. It's a fucking crime, man.
It's a crime. But then this is how she played it off, right? She's got a tweet here. It says the tweet, "All I can do now is be a better me for myself, my family, and my future." And this is what it says. So I'm seeing an old social media that a live I did 3 years ago has popped back up. A live where I talked about things I had done in my past, right or wrong, that I felt I needed to do to make a living. I never claim to be perfect or come from a perfect world with a perfect past. I always speak my truth. I always own my shit. I'm a part of a hip-hop culture where you can talk about where you come from, talk about the wrong things you have done to get where you are. There are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing, crimes they feel that had to do in order to survive. I never glorify the things I brought up in that live. I never ever put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it and feel a responsibility not to glorify it. I made the choices that I did at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise above that. Blah, 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 blah. You get the point. Okay, what sort of fucking answer is this? And she's just like, yep, so that's my response.
She doesn't even apologize, right? Basically, she's not really sorry. No. She just thinks, no, she hasn't victimized anybody. This is just what she had to do because she was poor. It's like, well, actually, no, the hood didn't force you to get your titties out, lie to people, and rob them, and drug them.
Yeah,
it's actually still, even though she's pretty self-determined in terms of her music career and whatever to make something out of herself. It's still back to the whole victim mentality. It's like saying you had no choice but to do the wrong thing. Actually, making good choices costs you nothing.
Yeah,
making the right choice costs you nothing. I mean, do strippers make so little money that you actually have to drug and rob people anyway? Once you've chosen to get your titties out, I'm pretty sure you make some pretty good money. I mean, she's got a pretty rockin' body, right? I mean, like, yeah. What's up, Cardi B? If you didn't sing, I'd like you a lot more. Oh, man, I've been watching Mad Men, and I've been just thinking, anytime I have, like, some plainly incorrect thoughts, I just hear it in, like, the Mad Men voices. Like, Cardi B, I would like you a lot more if you didn't say anything. Just get your titties out for me. I'm like, I'm just going into Mad Men mode. Like,
that is kind of her job, though.
Well, it is her job.
That was her job.
That was her job, and I bet you she got paid really good for it. There's people out there, like, raising kids, just working 2 jobs, like working at a bar or, like, working as a waitress. They're doing it tough because they're doing it the right way. They're doing it the moral or ethical way, or they're doing it a way where they don't sacrifice their own dignity or they don't break the law. All right? And there's people... what I don't understand about this...
But there's all power too. If she wants to be a stripper, that's fine.
No, being a stripper is fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. Using that way
don't pretend you had to. Like, what is the context of had to? What, did someone put a gun to your head, or was the choice between?
She was saying because the world's so fucked up. She had
the world is so fucked up.
Yeah.
So what? She was gonna starve to death if she didn't strip. You know what really pisses me off about all this is that people who come from a country, even if you're in a poor area of America, that is a huge world away from living in the third world, living in Africa, the Middle East, or third world, say Southeast Asia, where I'm from. Okay. And we still expect them as a society as a whole to live morally and make good decisions. Yeah. We don't expect Africa to erupt. I mean, it does sometimes. But we don't expect them to erupt and say, well, we had no choice but to victimize everybody. And then maybe we'll just form like a new age, Nazi party, because they had no choice. Because objectively, they're so much poorer than you. They're 10 times poorer than you. Yeah. Okay? So do they have the right to do so much wrong to others and tell everybody they had no choice? What is this need? This word need that gets thrown around when it's really just want.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that there are things that are lacking growing up. I don't claim to understand what it's like coming up in sort of, the hood or whatever you call it, But I do know that there are people from much worse places making much better decisions. And that's what pisses me off about that. The whole idea is she's a self-made woman, all her money's self-made. So I applaud her for that. But she still has a weird victim mentality.
Yeah, she has a really weird victim mentality, and it doesn't make any sense. But it's also kind of playing into her power to say, I'm a victim. This is how I'm going to get out of this. She's doing it right now. Every time she's had other little things that happen in the media, which are not worthwhile for anyone even learning about or looking up, right? But this is some serious shit. She's used the same response all the time. Like, I'm a victim, I'm just a black woman in America. I'm a black Latina woman, and I was a stripper, and everything was so hard, and then, I'm just living and shit. It's like, yeah, we get that you had a hard life. There's hard things that happen to you. But you're also doing fucked up shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's a crime. And look, if this was a dude, can you imagine the uproar?
All right, let's imagine white male.
It's like,
insert white male.
It's like, imagine, just imagine for a second, some dude from some small town in America. It was all white people. It was like, I grew up in a shit town where everyone had nothing. There's plenty of white towns like that too. And he just goes, well, I had no choice but to seduce rich ethnic women or just rich women and then drug them and take their jewelry and shit. I had no choice.
That's totally normal.
I had no choice.
When you let's just take even race out of the picture. Just change it to male.
Just change it to male versus woman.
Come on, man.
It's just disgusting.
And look, and this is the thing that this is what Cardi B then said, alright? So Cardi B's defended herself by saying the men she drugged and robbed were conscious, willing, and aware. Hang on. How are you conscious, willing, and aware to be like, hey, Cardi, can you put some Xanax and make me go to sleep so you can rob me?
Yeah, what do they have? They have some kind of Xanax and robbery fetish. It's like, you know what I want to do? I want to get drugged, not have sex with you, and wake up penniless. I mean, that's what I want. I mean, if you can imagine it probably happens.
Yeah. Hey, Cardi, you know how you want to have sex? Yeah. So let's go back to the hotel. You slip a whole bunch of fucking drugs in me, and then rob me, and then no sex happens. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. We'll tell you want to get the fuck out of here. Well, look, all I can say is she's clearly put herself in the top running alongside Jussie Smollett for Super Genius of the Millennium Award.
I'm a super genius because I rob people to survive, and that's totally normal.
Thank you for presenting me with the Super Genius of the Millennium Award.
But one thing I have to also say about this is that she won the fucking Grammy, okay, for Album of the Year.
Well, when did she get that though?
That was a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And do you know who she beat? So she beat Mac Miller.
Really?
Mac Miller, as you know, died this year, and his album was rest in peace. I listened to his album; it was actually really, really good too. So, and then her album was just trashy pop hits, and it's just, I think it might look, I can't speculate as to why. It might be because he's a white male rapper and she's a black woman rapper, and she's the first woman to win an album of the year, like a rap album of the year type thing as well.
That's the world we're living in.
Then she's also sponsored by Pepsi. She's also on Snapchat stories every day. I've got family members that love her. I've got friends and other people that think she's amazing. It's like, this woman is fucking horrible. And the thing is, she's not losing any endorsements, right? So Damien Scott, the editor-in-chief and vice president of content development of Complex. So Complex is a hip-hop magazine.
Okay.
But it's also like a culture thing as well. They've got like over 10 million subs on YouTube. Really
Sweet.
popular. So this is the editor-in-chief. This is what he had to say. The difference here is that with Cardi B is remembering the crimes she committed in her very formidable years, and while they are crimes, to me, they're not on the degree of criminality as raping somebody. She claims she would drug men and rob them. Is that bad? Extremely bad. However, on the scale of what's acceptable in rap and what is being acceptable in rap, to me, that's on some tame side. So this is the editor-in-chief at one of the most influential hip-hop magazines, which curtails the culture as to what happens in these events.
But he's clearly drawing some sort of false parallel here. What is he saying? What's acceptable in rap and what has been acceptable in rap? The crimes they commit has never been acceptable.
Yeah.
What they talk about, it's always been acceptable to have explicit lyrics, and it kind of implies that they may or may not have done these things.
Yeah.
But it's never been acceptable to say, yes, it is a good thing for you to go out and murder your rivals. It is a good thing for you to rape a whole bunch of people. No. When has that ever been seen as acceptable? They talk about a whole bunch of bad shit in their lyrics, but she's admitting to drugging. And he even says extremely bad, however. Why are you trying to qualify this? It's extremely bad, period. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. This person has the keys, I would say, you know what I mean, to set a narrative, and he's downplaying it. Like, hello, guys, come on. We've been talking about Me Too movements. We've been talking about cancel culture, all these different aspects. But because they're seeing someone come up and rise up, you know, once again, this is a whole side thing. It's like, well, we want this person to succeed, so we have to kind of just downplay this thing. It's like, well, no, you committed a bunch of fucking crimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this, and you got. I think the other thing as well, people need to take away is like, yeah, okay, we talked about Michael Jackson before. We talked about R. Kelly. We talked about different people needing to like not be arbiters of morals in society or be this person that put up on a pedestal, but they still have an influence as to the things they do. When you have someone actively admitting to crimes and doing this stuff, they're a role model that's out there for people to go, okay, well, if I'm struggling and things are going bad, then I'll just commit a bunch of crimes and fucking drug a bunch of people up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's simple. This is just a simple thing. She's out there. She's got exposure. She's a celebrity that people look up to, especially young people. They're going to copy what she does. They're going to think it's okay. It's going to normalize, you know. I mean, it's the same way I would blame R. Kelly for it. Like, R. Kelly's just going around fucking having sex with underage girls, or like getting them when they're a teenager and only showing them when they're 18. It's like, gross. How can they already have been in this long committed relationship when they're just 18? That means they must have been together since.
Yeah. And
it's
also,
just the double standards of the media is disgusting.
It's just complete double standards. One other final point as well I'd like to bring up with the Cardi B aspect as well is, so there was an article I was reading, and it was one of the people that commented on was Schleifer, Bert Schleifer. He's the chairman of Reputation Management Consultants, and he was saying that Cardi B wasn't glorifying the act of drugging someone in a song, and that she took ownership of her actions. The quote is, "I don't think it's going to stop any endorsements. I'd be very, 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 very surprised if anything stops." So this is a guy that's a chairman of Reputation Management Consultants that essentially consults and talks about how an event would affect people or affect public perception. And he's saying, yeah, she's not going to lose any endorsements.
Well, I think he's right. Well, it's not saying that he advocates for it, that he thinks what's happening is all right. I think it's just his honest assessment that given the current climate, it's not going to affect her reputation. It's not going to fuck her up at all. I mean, I'm disappointed.
But why?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Well, my thoughts are that, honestly, because she's some chick from the hood. That's really it. I mean, she's a minority in two ways, racially. She's an intersectional female. That's the word these days, right? That's the buzzword.
What do you mean? What is
intersectional female? Like
intersectional feminist. What do you mean intersectional female?
Oh, sorry, intersectional. No, not feminist. She's an intersectional person, because female is one of the sections that intersects her victim groups, right?
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the political lens of victim mentality.
Oh yeah. She's from the hood. She's a minority of like two mixed races, and she's a woman. You know, like these are the reasons that she's getting away with this. As simple as that. It is simple as that. There's a double standard that exists in especially left-leaning media, and all entertainment media is left-leaning, and that's why she's able to get away with this.
Not all, but most.
Well, the vast majority. The vast majority. I'm generalizing.
Yeah. Look, it's very
Again, guys,
confusing.
strip away your ideology and understand the principle here. Is it okay for anybody to drug and rob somebody just because they're falling on hard times?
Well, it's alright for Bill Cosby to do it.
Yeah, Bill Cosby.
Oh, hey. Who wants some pills in there, fucking jello?
Hey, who wants some star candy?
How come hey, Bill Cosby, how come my drink tastes like rape?
It's like, hey kids, would you like some purple rape juice? Did I say rape? I meant
grape juice. Yeah, man. This topic I don't really understand it.
Look, to sum up the last two things we've been talking about, people will need to understand, think more critically on the principle than anything else. That's it. Think on the principle, not the ideology.
Yeah, I think that's a good sum up, Eric. Like for both this topic and also the Jussie Smollett thing, they kind of bleed in. The whole privilege, the whole sides thing. They're both just side matters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my side versus your side, and under all circumstances, I want my side to win.
Yeah, that's it. You know, as our favorite podcaster says, just fucking tribalism, man. Oh man, it's tribalism.
Hey Jamie, can you pull up the DMT and the monkeys jerking each other off? Yeah, I need to smoke that. I mean the DMT, not the monkeys.
Have you ever seen a chimp without hair, man? That dude is so ripped, man.
Yeah, fucking ripped.
Can you imagine fucking a chimp? It'd be like a fucking MMA fighter, man. They could kill you at any time. Imagine fucking a chimp, man.
Yeah, man, and after just rip off your dick and eat it. Yeah. This is fucking aggressive as shit.
And then the DMT wore off, and I was like, man, I communicated with the other side.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in for the Sapiosexual episode number 5.
Number 5. That's about all we got time for.
I'm your host, Kain.
And this is Eric.
Signing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Yeah.